This is Jessica Weiss. I'm here today with Dr. Ann Utterback. She's a broadcast voice specialist and stress reduction counselor. She helps journalists become more comfortable in front of the camera, their broadcast voices. She's worked in the business for 30 years, training journalists all over the world and in major news organizations throughout the United States.
Breathing is really the energy for speech. It's sort of the basic component of speech. The better control we have of our air and the better amount of air we have, the better our broadcast voice is going to be. There's sort of three places that we can breathe. And two of them have some real handicaps. One type of breathing I call upper clavicular breathing. You know, your clavicles are right here, these bones here. When you use the upper part of your chest and you sort of heave up your shoulders to breathe, you can actually breathe that way. You can go, but what you lack when you breathe that way is any, what I call breath support, any support of how slowly you can exhale. Now we have these little folds of tissue right behind our Adam's apple. Feel that, run your fingers down your throat, and right here, your neck, and right here in your throat you feel a bump. Right behind there are these tiny little pieces of tissue that are called, some people call them vocal cords. I like to call them vocal folds. That's where our actual sound comes from. That's what creates the sound waves. Air comes up from the lungs, comes up the trachea, hits these little folds, and they flutter, and that creates a sound wave.
So we want to keep them free of tension.
Exactly. If you put tension into them, the first thing that's going to happen is your pitch is going to go up. When we're probably very little, somebody tells us to suck in our stomach, don't they? And stick out our chest. Whether we're a guy or a girl, it looks better to have a flat stomach and a bigger chest. So we kind of lock in the stomach and we go around breathing
into our chest.
Yes, right across here. So you see the movement in the mid-chest area. The problem there is pretty much the same as here. These muscles are weak. You know, they're really not very strong muscles. So when we talk with this, what I call socialized breathing, we hold in our stomach, we stick out our chest, but we can't really control how long we exhale the air. Okay? The diaphragm muscle connects here at the breastbone, under the rib cage, into the spine. It completely cuts the body in half. You can see in this cutaway of the body that the diaphragm is at the very bottom and the lungs are sort of resting on the diaphragm. At rest, it's domed up, as you see in this diagram, and when you exhale, it actually contracts downward. And you can see in this figure, when it contracts downward, it makes all the dimensions of the thoracic cavity expand. And when all those dimensions expand, it creates a vacuum in our thoracic cavity. So to really inhale, all we have to do is create a vacuum in our thoracic cavity. And we saw that we could create it by lifting the shoulders up. We could create it by expanding the mid-chest. But the best way to do it is by contracting the diaphragm and letting it expand the base of our rib cage. All right, first put your hand here on your upper chest and put it right around your waistband. Put your other hand there. All right, now take a deep inhalation for me. Oh, you see these shoulders? You feel those moving? Do that again. Oh, lots of tension in your throat, right? All right, so I want you to keep this hand perfectly still. I don't want this hand to move an inch. This is where you want to feel the movement. So when you inhale, I want this hand at the bottom to come forward.
No movement in my shoulders.
No movement in your shoulders. You're going to sort of stick out your stomach as you inhale.
Okay.
Try that. Good, good. I can see some real movement there. Down on the floor. Now this is a no-fail exercise. You cannot fail at this.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to put this book right here on your stomach, and I want you to not even think about breathing. I just want you to lie there. Watch that book. I'll move it up just a tad. See how it goes up when she inhales, it comes down when she exhales. Up when she inhales, down when she exhales.
So that's my diaphragm working.
The diaphragm is working. When we're in a prone position, it's almost impossible to breathe. Try to breathe in your upper chest. You can't. It's locked in.
Very awkward.
So if you have any problem remembering how to do this, just lie down on a bed or the floor, put a book there and get familiar again with what that feels like. Now we're going to do something that, an exercise I give all my clients, which I think is a great one because it helps you build breath support. Now I'm going to take a clock here and I'm going to time you. What I want you to do is put your hands where we had them before, top and bottom. I want you to do a nice inhalation with the diaphragm. Then I want you to exhale an ah sound. Now I don't want a meek little ah like that. I want a nice conversational ah, really strong and solid. And when it begins to sort of break up, that means you're really out of air, so just stop at that point. Ready? Inhale and start. Oh, that wasn't very long. That wasn't very long. So maybe 8 seconds.
Okay.
I would like to have you get up to 20 or 25 seconds.
Okay.
So the longer you can control that exhalation, the more you would be able to talk and read a script without worrying about, I'm going to run out of air. And you'd also be able to do more with your voice to create variety.
If you'd like to learn more about breathing for broadcast, be sure to check out Dr. Utterback's classic manual, Broadcast Voice Handbook, now in its 4th edition, available at utterbackpublishing.com.